WGAL News 8 Today starts now.
Good morning, I'm everyone. 4:30 on this Tuesday. I'm Matt Barquero.
I'm Caitlin Smith. We're talking about that cool down, about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we were up near 70. Today we're going to be closer to 60. So let me show you our Storm Team Live Radar Network right now. Things are quiet. There will be some showers that roll in later this morning, and we'll see a couple of showers, occasional showers throughout the day, with temperatures only getting to about 60 degrees with a low 60. So right now we have 55 in Lewistown, 52 in York, 52 for Carlisle, and also in Harrisburg. Winds are out of the south today, about 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon, and we will have some occasional showers passing through with a lot more cloud cover than we saw yesterday. So that's going to hold our temperatures down just a bit. As far as tomorrow goes, it's our best chance of rain. I'm going to time it out for you coming up.
All right, thanks, Christine. Today, Franklin County Commissioners hosting a public meeting about their ordinance regulating the development of AI data centers. The commissioners say their proposed guidelines should be seen as best practices that smaller townships can use if they haven't dealt with zoning regulations often. That hearing is set for tonight at 6 o'clock. It's at the Franklin County Administration Building in Chambersburg. It'll also be live streamed on the commissioner's YouTube page.
And an AI data center in Cumberland County has some neighbors there concerned for some different reasons. They say construction of the center involves blasting, and that is rattling their homes. Some voiced their concerns during last night's Planning Commission. That was the meeting in Middlesex Township. But the Planning Commission still voted to recommend that the Board of Commissioners does go ahead with the developer's plans.
And this is what I'm experiencing every single day. Okay. My home, I'm part of the Country Manor West, is on blocks, and on top of that, my home is on a hill. Now I have to sit here and I have to be worried for how long that my house is actually going to fall down the frickin' hill, because I don't know what in the heck is going on. Nor was I told, nor was I informed. Totally unacceptable.
Well, the developers say their goal is to have as little impact on the community as possible. They say they are committed to not affecting a nearby creek and to maintaining some of the unused land. They also say they will cut off 50% of the property's lights at a certain time of night to limit light pollution. The Board of Commissioners is set to make a final decision on the plans a week from tomorrow. That's May 6th.
In Dauphin County, Constellation Energy wants approval to use millions of gallons of water from the Susquehanna River to support the restart of the former 3 Mile Island site. The plant is set to reopen next year and will help power proposed Microsoft data centers. The company says it'll need more than 70 million gallons of water from the river a day. The amount would be less than 0.5% of the river's daily water flow. Community members and environmental groups have shared their concerns about the strain on the environment, especially during ongoing drought conditions. The Susquehanna River Basin Commission is taking public comments on this request through May 4th.
This morning, Shippensburg University students are still working just online as crews work on campus to restore power. And that may also be the case come tomorrow. The university is blaming Saturday's fire at an on-campus electrical substation. The school says the power is out at academic buildings, also at the campus gym and library. Right now, though, generators are keeping the electricity going at residence halls and in the dining hall.
We don't have a timeline yet that we're putting out there, because there's a lot of testing that needs to happen once it's up. But we're pretty hopeful it'll be this week and we can get rocking and rolling again.
You just heard her mention testing. So once the power is up and running, they will make sure that it's working and then finally remove those generators. Yeah, finals are next week. So this is coming at an inopportune time there, but it does expect that the power will be disrupted for a little bit as it is doing that testing at some of the campus buildings as well.
State House lawmakers passed a bill that aims at teaching kids about how social media can affect their health. The bill would tell the State Board of Education to come up with materials that help students better understand how technology can affect them for better or worse. A former educator and current Republican lawmaker who voted against the bill worries that the state could get too involved with what local school districts are teaching kids.
It is going to allow PD to review the curriculum that's already in place, and then they are going to approve it. So I don't like the idea of a bureaucracy taking away from local control.
Not every parent is tech savvy on these types of things and doesn't know what's going on. I have 3 kids. They're teenagers. I don't know everything that's going on with them. So again, it's better to be safe than sorry and give them the information that they need.
The bill now goes to the state Senate, for consideration.
It's 4:35 and the man accused of shooting outside the White House Correspondents Association event on Saturday night is now charged with attempting to assassinate the president. Cole Allen, who is 31, appeared in federal court in Washington yesterday. He was formally charged with trying to assassinate the president, also interstate transportation of weapons, and firing a gun during a violent crime. There you see that ballroom being evacuated. Allen did not enter a plea and will remain in custody. He does have another hearing on Thursday.
Just because something's unprecedented doesn't mean that I can legally pay for it.
After State Treasurer Stacey Garrity made that announcement that her department would not pay for security upgrades at Governor Shapiro's private home, all living former governors of Pennsylvania are sharing their support for the first family. Garrity says the Treasury Department cannot legally use taxpayer dollars for $1 million in security upgrades to Shapiro's personal home in Montgomery County. But former governors Tom Wolf, Tom Corbett, Ed Rendell, Mark Schweiker, and Tom Ridge have called for the first family's safety to remain nonpartisan and ensure the issue is not polarized and politicized. This follows the attempt on Shapiro's life in the arson attack at the governor's residence in Harrisburg last year. Now, Garrity's office says she agrees with the former governors about violence and threats against public officials having no place in our country, but she says that she is limited by the law and that the Treasury Department does not have the legal authority to use taxpayer dollars for the project.
Now, our Get the Facts data team did look into the shooting at that White House Correspondents' Dinner and also created a map of the venue that you see here, showing exactly what went down on Saturday night as well as what security was like. You can find this map on WGAL.com.
New this morning, a Lancaster man is set to spend up to 21 years in prison after pleading guilty to taking part in an attempted robbery, which left another man dead. The DA's office says that Luis Rivera and 2 other men planned to steal a handgun that a 17-year-old boy previously stole. They say this happened in 2022 on Ruby Street. Investigators say the boy realized he was going to be robbed and a fight started. That's when they say one of the men shot the boy in both legs with another gun. The boy shot back and killed him.
A Lancaster County man is now facing several felony charges after police say he admitted to planning to rape someone he thought was a 15-year-old girl. You're seeing video here from his arrest. A team that says it helps catch predators led police to 25-year-old Ethan Henry of Maytown. The team started talking to Henry online in early January, posing as that teenage girl, and then arranged to meet with him on Saturday in Clearfield County. You're seeing that meeting here. That's where police arrested him at that convenience store parking lot.
Usually we ask them to bring something to show the full intent, but we didn't have to ask him to bring anything. You know, he brought the phone, the sex toy, and a ring that he said was going to be an engagement ring.
News 8 has also learned that Henry worked as a custodian at the Donegal School District for a time, but the superintendent says it has been years since he was employed there.
East Lampeter Township Police in Lancaster County say they arrested a man after a stabbing. Officers say the man, whose name they did not release, was arrested near the Sheets on Old Philadelphia Pike yesterday afternoon. They say the victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police say the suspect also injured himself during the stabbing.